now. This is Arthur Seay and Matt Bischoff, and we are Riff Killers Podcast.
Welcome to Riff Killers Podcast. I am here with Arthur Seay at the Artie Love Show.
We're always fucking here. Aren't we the guys?
We are always here, and we've been having an absolute blast. We got a couple episodes coming up that I think you guys are going to really dig. We did Mikey Doling from Snot, and he played in Soulfly. What a fucking cool guy, Artie. A lot of these guys you're friends with. I actually, after we did the Mikey interview, I went to my local record store. There's a bunch of them here in Cincinnati, but one kind of close by where I work, Everybody's Records. I went in and I'm like, hey, can you guys order this album from the band Snot? And they're like, oh, let me see. Like, oh yeah, $27.98. We can get that from our distributor. So, like, you know how there's like music on vinyl? They do like re-releases of albums and shit.
Yes.
So I ordered that, and I just got it in last week, and it's killer. And I sent a text message to Mikey. He's like, "Holy shit!" Because I don't think they ever pressed that Snot record on vinyl originally.
Back in the day. That sucks.
Exactly.
Put everything on vinyl. They probably did. It was probably very limited. Whatever. Our local record store just closed down after 43 years? The Record Alley? So I'll say this real quick. We're going to do an episode on the Record Alley because for us local desertians, desert rats, desert people, indigenous desert people, that there's a whole story about the Record Alley and how much of that was a part of like the desert scene. That was our social media. Like you went to that place and you put up your flyer for your show, the desert party, the this. That's how everybody knew about what was going on, the Record Alley. Or you talked to like Christy or Stiff Tiff or fucking Dale, and like they knew, oh, that party's over here. So we'll talk about more of that later. But sadly, after 43 years, mom and pop independent business, they bit the dust.
What do you think?
Because of COVID.
Here's the crazy thing, because you're in California, I am in Ohio, and there are there's at least 4 to 5 record stores. There's
how big is you're in Cincinnati, right? You're in the outskirts, though.
I am in the outskirts, but vinyl records, dude, and record stores
in Cincinnati, or are you talking like in your town?
No, don't
say your town, because then people will know where you live and they'll come kill you.
No, but so Cincinnati, there's 5 record stores within. I don't fucking, dude. Don't ask me these questions. I'm a dumbass when it comes to that.
Let's ask the Oracle.
There's a lot of people in Cincinnati. There's multiple record stores in different suburbs.
Where's our intern looking up things that we're asking for us?
That's right.
How come we don't have one?
Joe Rogan show.
And then it shows up on the screen later or now.
Well, hey,
the population of Cincinnati is 2.3 million.
Yeah, we need
that. Well, if I had my phone.
And you don't. But I'm just saying, record stores have
been over there.
They've been thriving, Artie. Like vinyl is killing it here. Why in California does the record store that's been open 43 years shut down when in other parts vinyl is like a thriving? And I'm not saying thriving like these motherfuckers are making tons of money. They're probably, I would imagine that if you have a record store and the same dudes, it's kind of like the Record Alley, a lot of these stores, the same dudes have been running it from when I was 16 years old. Like they've been there for 50 fucking years, right?
This is why they went under. They only kept brick and mortar. They had a store. They didn't do online sales. They didn't do any of that shit. So that's where they fucked up. Mm-hmm. So when COVID did happen, and of course there's no foot traffic, they didn't still have an online presence as like you can go to their website and buy the vinyl and all that bullshit. They didn't do that. That's where they fucked up. That's why they went out of business.
But in California, was it no opinion. One was allowed to go to retailers? Because I think that's where
when we shut down, it was shut down. Everything was closed. The mall was closed. Everything was closed. It was in the mall still. The Record Alley was in the same spot in the Palm Desert Mall,
Mm-hmm.
Westfield Shopping Center now, whatever. But like it was in a mall.
Yeah.
Who goes to the mall? You go to a mall? I don't go to the mall, dude.
No, all the mall. There's
I used to
one
like going to the
mall.
mall when there was an arcade in the mall, but like, you're when you tour, like when I was working for whoever, Godsmack, Slipknot, you have a day off. It's like, you always buy a mall kind of thing. Like, oh, the mall's next door, What the fuck? I don't go to the mall when I'm home. I don't like the mall. You're a kid. Yeah, I went to the mall. Yeah, the arcade. Yeah, it's the mall. It was like 80s, whatever, fucking 90s. Like, there's a mall. Yeah, the fucking mall. There's no, actually, malls are getting kind of a resurgence too. Like, everything that comes around goes around, comes around again. But
they didn't stick with the times. They didn't
stick with the
online.
times. They only kept brick and mortar. They didn't have an online aspect as well. And so, yeah. So anyway, in California, yes, when we shut down, it was shut down. Like everything was closed. Like the mall was closed, like for months. It wasn't like, oh, you go, two people can go in there, whatever. It was just closed forever. Parking lot blocked off, barricades, all that shit, man.
Is it still
California is fucking stupid, dude.
Because
I love California, but it's dumb.
Yeah, because here, I mean, for maybe a little bit, it was shut down about a year ago when shit hit the fan.
Like for how long?
I mean, not that long. For record stores, you had to wear a mask. They'd only let people in.
Months of shutdown, dude.
Yeah, it was not months for here. And
it
I
was
think that's
months
the
of
difference.
shutdown. It was, 2 weeks turned into like 3 months or something.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, California is ridiculous. Funny enough, you look at the statistics now, California's been shut down, and Florida is wide open, but the numbers are the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just idiotic. It's like everything was shut down, but Home Depot and Lowe's and Walmart were still open. But then all the mom and pops had to close. But then all these like massive corporation stores, you could stay open. Who get, a billion times more foot traffic. It's just idiotic, man. It's where you think, what's really going on here? I'm one of those. I always look at everything like, what's really going on? You can like blatantly see how things are manipulated in certain ways, and you can call it conspiracy or this or that. How about just a different train of thought? But you can really see where like, and then just the stupidity of it, like just that common sense. Like, how's Walmart open? You know what I mean? They counted the people, but you can have a shit ton of people. But then the little mom and pop store has to be closed because whatever, this and that. It's just,
well, it is ridiculous because I mean, my kids, for example, already have been going to school. They've been in school 100 days now because my wife works
like
in the
normal
school district. They've been going 5 days a week, right? But then
did they like change the amount of kids per classroom?
No,
because that's what they're talking about here. I think is it here or all over or the whole states, but they're talking about like decreasing the amount of students per classroom, which is a good thing because before COVID, it was always like, the classrooms are too crowded, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And then they got a this and they got a that and they got a this and that, I don't know. California's crazy.
Yeah. Well, some school districts are have been completely online. Right.
Yeah.
And then the next community over, they're doing like some kids go 2 days a week and then there's a break. And then the second batch of the alphabet go the other 2 days and they clean the school. So it is fucked up because it's like, if my kid's school has been successful 5 days a week the whole fucking year, but this school hasn't done anything, it is like, well, fuck, man. Like, if our school's doing it, why isn't every school doing it? And if they allow fucking people at the Super Bowl, Artie,
oh my God,
like 20, even if it's 25%, and I'm not a sports fan, but like you let all those people that were in the Super Bowl with masks, social distance, and whatever, but you couldn't have a concert at Coachella or something, right? Like they have to cancel that.
Yeah.
Like why? Like that does not
the Super
make
Bowl
any
is what,
sense.
like 25,000 people, but it's a stadium, so it holds 75,000 people or something like that. So, yeah, man, it's all idiotic. It's just whoever's at the power of where it's at. You know what I mean? Who runs the world? Corporations. I'm sorry. This will like, I don't know, make people mad or make people happy because they agree, but it's like, dude, it's the United States of corporations. Like NFL, billions of dollar massive corporation that is or was a nonprofit. It was a charity. The NFL is filed under a charity. They make billions. I mean, I'm sure they give like, a fraction of a percentage to like actual charity, but NFL is a nonprofit. They're not paying taxes on all that NFL money. I think it's changed. I don't know. Where's our intern with the fucking facts? I was looking it up a long time ago, and I forget. But I think they finally changed it. I don't know. Maybe I'll grab my phone and I can do it as we go. But like forever, it was a fucking nonprofit. I'm like, what? How's the NFL a nonprofit? Because they do charitable things. Absolutely awesome. But it's like a fraction of the billions of dollars that they make. It's ridiculous. So yeah, they can do whatever the fuck they want. We're gonna do the Super Bowl. We're gonna have 25,000 fucking people in here. Who gives a fuck? Fuck off. It's okay.
So how do you think? So obviously, like every concert got canceled. Like all your gigs as a guitar tech. And
I had a full European tour for my bands. Yeah, postponed until God knows when we can do it again.
And they did. So obviously, you are talking about House of Broken Promises, correct?
Unita.
Canceled. Unita. Okay, so Unita was to do a tour.
And House was probably going to open again. If not, my solo thing was going to open for Unita.
And your solo thing. So you got your solo thing going on. You got the new singer for Unita. You got HOBP stuff going on. You had European stuff booked. It's canceled right now indefinitely because I know a lot of the European festivals for 2021, they are already getting canceled, correct?
Everything I've seen, yeah, they're all getting postponed again. This year, nothing's going to happen, absolutely. Next year, I'd say probably things will start happening. This year, absolutely not. Until they vaccinate everybody.
How do you think that is going to affect just the music business and bands as a whole? Do you think
everybody is dying and going broke? All the venues are closing. It's the music industry is $1 billion industry as well. Live music, etc. And dude, like everybody's out of work. Billions of dollars, millions of people. The crews, the lighting guy, the audio guy, the techs. The merch people, the PAs, the tour managers, the truck drivers, the bus drivers, you know what I mean? The people that work at the venues, whether it's a fucking arena doing a big tour or, small, medium clubs, like all those people are ass out. Yeah, everybody's fucked, man. Like, when I'm at home, I work at a theater out here. It's kind of like a, prestigious, it's Broadway's and this. It kind of caters to the rich old people. It's awesome. It's a great venue. It's a great venue to work at.
Yeah.
It's great. Awesome. The McCallum Theater. But, they're closed. And,
wow. And everyone that's right.
They furloughed us and all that stuff and like all that shit. But now it's like, official, like, okay, everybody's fired because we haven't done a show in a year. And we're not going to do a show until they're actually working on what I hear through the grapevine is like not until next January that they'll possibly, if everything's going right, that's when they can hopefully start doing shows again. Yada, yada, yada. But, who can hang on that long? Small clubs can't hang on that long. You know what I mean?
So I got a question
because it's a nonprofit, it's where everything is based on donations. So they get a lot of donations. You know what I mean?
So I have a question for you. So you have all these bands, small stoner rock bands, like Ripple Music type bands, just bands that consistently go on tour to make a modest living and tour Europe a lot. And you're saying that a lot of these clubs are going to be closing down and not able to sustain due to COVID. So when shit opens back up and you have these same amount of bands wanting to play, is there going to be a problem with the booking because there's not going to be enough venues to book the amount of bands that are wanting to go?
I mean, who knows? But I say to a point, I guess we'll see. But absolutely, a lot of them are going under. Europe is absolutely different than how the States are handling it. But I don't know. There's going to be either too many bands that took the time to have their shit together and ready to rock, and it might hamper your touring because now there's too fucking many bands. You know what I mean? Like even before COVID, like there's certain times a year when you fucking tour. You know what I mean? And sometimes you want to avoid that time because everybody and their brother is on tour at time.
Right.
So you may say, let's wait a little bit towards the end of that because everybody and their brother's on tour at that fucking time. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
summer in Europe's like everybody's on tour. Everybody that tours in America, they go to Europe because it's, summer is festival season. It's the festival. And it's like, and that kind of gets where it's like, there's too many bands going. Like we had a couple of shows like that on the House of Broken Promises last tour where we played in Vienna the same night as Clutch. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck. That sucks. We didn't know. We got there like somebody told me like, fuck. And then like dude, like a mile down the street or something too. Like we're like, well, fuck. Everybody's gonna go to Clutch. I mean, we had a decent turnout, but it's like, why didn't And then you're like, hey, booking agent guy, why didn't you let us know that or like flip some shit around? I mean, it's hard. I don't know, whatever, but.
That's a drag, though, because like you said, the same people that would listen to, say, Clutch, like me as a music fan, if I'm over there and I'm like, oh, fuck, Clutch is playing HOBP or whatever's playing.
We tried to push it back, too, so, like, that show would end, and then, like, we kind of pushed our show back where it would, maybe they can, let's go down over there now, you know what I mean?
Right. So, hopefully, I'm, optimistic that I hope every venue and every band is out there doing cool shit when this stuff is over. But man, dude, like
it's definitely going to be like a renaissance of everybody shitting out rad music. You know what I mean? That's my whole thing for this is like, I'm taking the time to get everything done and lined up.
Yeah. So what are you doing?
When I can't go play, fucking, I can start shitting everything out. You know what I mean? Am I shitting out stuff right now? Nah, it's like, what's the point? Maybe you should. I'm like, We'll wait till I can actually go do stuff and video. Just everything. Abe shit's getting finished. We're getting the drums done by a named dude we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be done and ready. The HOBP stuff's done and ready. I'm balls deep in my solo record. It's probably half done already.
So let me talk about your solo record. So Artie, obviously I met you through Garcia. Big fan of Unita and shit. That's kind of how we became friends many years ago. Always been a fan of your.
Don't add so many minis, bro.
Sorry, but your riffs are always badass. I've always loved your
riffs,
songwriting, dude. So like, you have a solo album that you're working on. So, do you have a band? Is there multiple singers? Dude. Are you going to be the singer?
Band. I got a band. I got bands and multiple singers. I have all that.
Well, explain to me though. What is the Arthur C? So is it
this
called?
This is how I'm doing it. It's Arthur C and the Riff Killers because I always, it's Riff Killing. We're killing riffs. Yes. I have Benny Cancino on drums, which is Mike Cancino from Unita and HO's nephew, who's fucking amazing, badass drummer. All the Cancinos are badass musicians.
Right.
He's got his own unique fucking stank he puts on things. The record's going to consist of, all kinds of different singers. Same thing. I hit up all my friends that are musicians. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Martina from Drain ASTH is going to sing on a song. Dewey Bragg, the Unita guy, like I'm sending him stuff to do a song. Eddie Velez from, Velez, sorry, bud. From King, I'm sending him a track.
So it's gonna be guest singers. Are you doing any lead vocals?
I'm gonna do one, probably at least. But I'm just sending it out to all the people I know that are rad fucking singers. Like, you know what? This is a riff that I think would work. That's perfect for your voice, that kind of shit. So
yeah, right. And then if you tour,
if a tour, I'll have a tour singer.
One guy that'll sing.
Yes, that will do everything. And I'm gonna do Unita. I'm gonna do HOBP. The solo stuff, and mix it all up and all that kind of shit. So, and then on bass, I have Colin McCoy, who plays in Unita too. Badass bass player. He played with Ed Mundell, and the Ultra Electric Mega Galactic.
Yes.
I always, is that right? I think that's right.
Monster Magnet.
Yeah. Ed Mundell from Monster Magnet. Super cool dude. But I mean, and Colin's like fucking dude. He's one of those guys, badass. Like when he auditioned for Unita, like he came in and nailed everything like nothing. He's super cool. It's
And what is this style of music like for people that dig your shit? Is it the same lines?
If you listen to the theme music to the show, that'll give you a taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. It's I write the riff, so it's gonna sound like what it's heavy, it's fucking hard. I mean, we can put some clips in later. We'll fucking add this and we'll give a taste or something like it's fucking killing riffs, riff killers.
Now, earlier today, man, like I was like, I don't usually watch shit. And I turned on my TV. I went to Amazon already, and I was like, I remember seeing this Low Desert Sound documentary of the desert scene. And I'm like, I'm hanging out with my dogs. It's Sunday morning. I'm going to turn this on. So I started watching it. And, I think it was from like 2017 or some shit like that. And it's cool.
It took him like 10 years.
10 years to make it.
It took him 10 years to make it. Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, I'm like, as I'm watching, I'm like, hey, here's my co-host partner, or, not co-host, whatever. Here's my podcast partner, Arthur, on the fucking show. And I took it I was like, look at Artie. So I was watching it, and I find it fascinating. Just the whole desert scene coming from punk rock and blah, 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 blah. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Caius and the music from the desert. You were a part of this movie that this guy
we helped him out a lot.
So explain to me some behind the scenes shit of this documentary, because I'm going into it. I was like, Amazon Prime, right? And it's got a lot of cool people. No, it's free on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I like watching these music documentaries, right?
That's all I watch is documentaries.
Have you seen the Brainiac one? Because those guys are from Dayton, Ohio. But I
watch Mike Judge's Tales from the Tour Bus.
Okay,
that's the most epic. Yep. Those are the greatest. I don't know if forget what it came out originally or what it comes out on, like HBO or something, or I don't know. Skinematic.
Text me that. We've talked about this before in the podcast.
Dude, it's brilliant because he's talking to all the people that were there, the musicians, the bands, this, that. And then he animates it like, kind of King of the Hill style. So when they tell the story, they got a good animation representation of it, but like all the guests he animates too. Dude, it's brilliant. Like they do everybody. People you've never even heard of. Like you're like, who the fuck's that? Like some random guy in Austin, I forget his name, but he had this crazy story, and then he actually sold a song to fucking this megastar country guy, and actually got his shit together, and then this happened and that happened, and it's like the local character, even stuff like that. But then again, they do like Rick James and Prince and a bunch of country artists too, like fucking Johnny Paycheck. Who the fuck's Johnny Paycheck? But if you ever hear "Take This Job and Shove It," that's Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah,
he was like some crazy fucking, and they're all like crazy fucked up on coke and booze, and like all the country guy, all the stories like they're shooting each other and shit, and then like they're friends the next day still. It's just like, what the fuck, these guys are crazy.
Yeah, I want to watch that shit. But
dude, it's fucking brilliant. To get off course or whatever, but but fucking brilliant.
So definitely, listeners, watch that shit.
Desert Sound. We helped that dude a lot. He hit us up. German guy, Jorg Steinbeck, cool dude. I think we met him in Germany on tour or something. Anyway, he came out to the desert, wanted to interview everybody. So we did some interviews, and like he stayed at Mike's house for like a week. All this shit. And we tried, I lined him up with people to interview and stuff like that. And it took him like 10 years, man. Like seriously, start to finish. That happens with those, man. Sometimes, he did it all himself. He did a really good job. Does it tell the whole story of the desert? I'm going to say no. But how do you cram in the real story? And it depends on who you talk to and what version you believe, and, that kind of stuff. The only thing for me on that, doc is like, the majority of the film are those two dudes in San Francisco that haven't lived in the desert in like 20 plus years.
Yeah, was that
if not more? And it's like, why is he talking to these guys all the time? They don't. I mean, and when they did leave it, like they didn't really do much anyway, So
I want to ask you about that Shawn Wheeler guy. So obviously, I was always
great.
a fan awesome. of Caius and shit and that whole deal. And I knew about Fatso Jetson and Yawning Man, etc. But it's like I always hear about Shawn Wheeler, and I know Brant Bjork on a solo shit has him guest sing a lot. I know some of those out in the desert concerts they've been doing, Shawn and his band. So, like, do you know that dude?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, were you friends? Like, how was he a lot older?
I don't know that guy from like Friends. I just know him. You know, it's the desert. Everybody knows everybody, and you know, I see him around. You know, he had has a band called Throw Rag. You know, there were. It's like punk, more punkish. I don't know, or is it more like Turbo Negro kind of thing? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what vibe I got. But he seemed like he was a staple, like OG. A lot of
I didn't know him back in the day. That's one person I didn't know back in the day. Actually, I met him like doing stagehand work because he did that too, and that's kind of where I met him. And didn't have a clue about the whole throw rag, this, that, and the other. I mean, I did, but I didn't know him. I didn't know that.
But throughout this documentary, Artie, it kind of talks about how punk rock was what kind of influenced the whole desert rock scene, right? It was like, punk rock and we'll do our thing. And then all of a sudden, like this like stoner rock, like jammy kind of fucking Kasich music starts coming out, which is long hair and loud shit and more intricate kind of music. And that was kind of like the opposite of like just super fast punk. You came from,
but nobody was doing that either. Caius did their thing, and they were Caius.
Right.
They did that. But a big part of the desert, I guess I'm gonna have to do it and make some desert documentary. Is like, dude, there was so much fucking metal. Like for me back then, I remember the Caius parties. But for me, there was like most of those desert parties were fucking metal parties, like metal bands, thrash bands, like that kind of shit. Like this band in Rage, you know, they're like the cool, you know, thrash band, like fucking whatever, you know, Exodus, that kind of shit. But like, and they were cool, you know, fast riffs and all that kind of.
Yeah.
There's so many of those parties and like other weird bands. And I mean, it was all cliquey, dude. You know what I mean? It was like, there's the metal people, there's the thrash metal people, there's the jammy, you know, Grateful Dead people. There's, you know, it was all cliquey and nobody kind of intermingled either, I guess, to a point. I don't know. That's what, that's how I remember it.
So would these thrash metal bands have like generator parties?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So there would be kind of like
that's what I'm saying. From my experience, I went to as many of those parties I can go to. I went to,
right.
But a lot of them were, like, you know, heavy metal. You know, we played one with Enrage one time out in the Indio Hills and all that shit, and then people getting fights, gunshots. Oh, okay, it's over. Fuck. We did one like the last one we did. We rented a U-Haul, you know, like box truck with a slide fucking door, and we set up the drums inside the U-Haul.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cabs too, just because we were like, something's gonna happen and we're gonna have to get out of there fast. We know it already. You know what I mean? It was like towards the end of that era, because at first it was cool, but then it got popular and like, you know, gangsters would go out and like the mosh pit and they're like, oh, go there and fight. And they just turn into a fight and then somebody gets stabbed, somebody gets shot. So that was the last one, and it was kind of that era at the end where like we rented this box truck, set up everything in the truck. So like when the fight and then the shooting started, we just slammed that fucking door down and drove out of there. You know what I mean? Because it was that stupid.
Right.
But so, we were smart. I'm like, I'm ready. Fuck that shit.
I think a lot of people like that, like listen to like Caius and like they want to go to the Sky Valley sign. They want to go to Joshua Tree in the desert, which that's totally fucking cool. The generator parties, you kind of lived it and know about that stuff.
Yeah, I drove out there in my parents' car and got it stuck and fucked it up and broke some shit and then got it dug out and then.
Is it more glorified?
Late getting home.
Is it glorified urban legend? You know what I mean? Like,
like anything else? Absolutely. Was it fun and rad? Yes. Was it fucking lame and stupid and you got stuck and there was fights always and like, dude, it was, you know, free for all. It was a bunch of fucking kids getting fucking wasted. out in the middle of the desert. Like, you can get murdered out there, and who's gonna fucking know? You know what I mean? It was all of that. You know, it was fun. Oh, this is rad. And then it was like, watch your back. Watch your back. Because everybody's drunk and, like, you know, it's high school. Everybody's picking up. We went to some fucking one where, like, Mike got sucker punched and shit. It wasn't a desert party. That was that story we talked about with Mikey Dolan.
Yeah.
But it was like that, you know, those metal parties too, or whatever parties. You know, it's a party out in the desert.
Right.
So who knows what's gonna happen?
Now for you, Artie, because like you got like I live in Ohio, and you think of these bands from the desert, the environment. I don't live out there, just like you don't live in Ohio. Does that environment fucking influence you in your fucking Artie and the fucking Riff Killer shit? You know what I'm saying? Or is it
sure.
a non thing?
Your environment absolutely influences your life. Does it influence me musically? The desert's a very special place. There's like crazy energy vortexes all over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about energy and frequency and vibration and that shit. I seriously, like,
Do you have vibrating underwear?
I'm not religious.
Yeah.
I'm more science / some spirituality.
Yeah.
Like, we're energy.
Yeah.
Energy never seeks to exist. So when we die, our energy goes back in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets recycled into something else. Is that, I guess, maybe could possibly explain reincarnation? Hey, why not? Could be.
Right.
A tiny part of your energy ends up in somebody else or a fish or whatever the fuck it may be. Who knows? Yeah, sure. Is there a guy in the clouds fucking doing stuff and you got to pray to him and you got to go to this building, and no offense to anybody that believes in that, absolutely believe in it. That's cool. I believe in a different thing. You believe in a different thing. We all can believe different shit, people. You don't have to get mad and fucking cancel each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I believe in energy, like our bodies vibrate at a fucking frequency, all that kind of shit. So, I guess the point is, the desert has crazy energy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's like some rad energy here. Like, you know, other places in the world have that energy, and then the desert definitely has a special kind of energy. And does it influence the music? Yeah, absolutely, to a point. I mean, your
Yeah.
environment absolutely influences you. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hot as fuck. You know what I mean? In the summer, it's insane. It's 120 every fucking day, or at least 110 every fucking day.
Does that ever bother you, Artie?
I don't give a fuck. I love it. You know, no. People,
What about cold? Because right
I
now
can't
it's been-
stand the cold. I'm a fucking pansy with the cold. Like, I like hoodie weather or some snow, but it's a sunny day. The shit that's going on now with Texas and this and that and all that shit, and you got a fucking igloo in your front yard. I'm not into that, man. Where it hurts. I've done tours, dude. I did a Slipknot tour where we did 10 days in Canada in January, where it was like 30 below all day, every day for 10 fucking days, and just Arctic. And dude, I was depressed by the time we were done with that. But the only thing that was rad is we flew to New Zealand, which was summer, and I was instantly just like elated and like, oh my God. And just like, it made me, you know, happy and shit. The cold heat, I don't have to scrape the heat off my windshield. I don't have to shovel the heat out of my driveway.
No.
I don't have to pour salt on the heat. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just hot as fuck. Run to your car. My AC in my car works great. The AC in my pad works great. Yeah.
Like, what
cold.
temperature is it right now in February?
Fuck. Where's our intern? What temperature is it right now? Intern, where you at?
So
it's like, dude, today was beautiful, perfect, probably like 72 or something, or fucking, I don't know.
It's right
like
now
70s, like beautiful.
It's actually going to be in the 50s this week, which is good because it was in
where you're at.
Yeah, it was single digits, dude.
I keep
for a long
every time I see you post something about your fucking igloo thing you made, I'm waiting for it to like crush all of you and shit. It's gonna collapse, and then hopefully you're strong enough to bust through like the Hulk or something. Or I'm like, hey, you got your whole family in there, and you got lit up and shit. I'm like, what if that thing melts and crushes on? It can't be that much snow, so you probably survive. You know what I mean?
Well, but it is like, I have a rule. So for those listening, it's been really snowy, the most snow we've had in probably 10 years here. So I build these giant piles of snow, and then we fucking dig it out, and take like a pickaxe and dig out and take all the snow from the inside, and you make I call it an igloo. So the other day we like put these we had these glow stick things, and we brought this bump box, and we were like jamming like 50 cents.
And what? And freezing your ass off in there? Like, what
we just go film the video and shit. But I always make sure I tell my boys and the neighborhood kids, I said, if I'm not here, you are not allowed to get in it. Because, dude,
because when it collapses,
if a 4-year-old kid was in there and it collapses, they would fucking die. They would be. So at night, I put like a bunch of shovels in front of the opening, like, do not come in here.
Get some chicken wire. Make it like a chicken wire door.
But it was fun, and I was like, man, it's gonna melt. By this week, it'll be melted. And I so badly want to take Tess out there and fuck in the igloo.
Oh, nice. Do it. Yeah, now you're talking. Yeah, hit her up. Tell her. Is she down?
I haven't even talked to her about it. I was thinking about this. I was like, dude, how bad would it be? Like, badass would be just to, like,
that'd be dope.
Bang doggy in the igloo.
Totally. Just get like yeah, man, get a little rug or something. So
I could put like a Mexican blanket down or some shit. You know what I mean? And but yeah,
put a tarp first, and then the Mexican blanket, so the moisture doesn't seep through. That's the prepper in me.
But yeah,
camper.
I don't really like the cold.
Put it on your OnlyFans too.
But I want to ask. So,
do I have an OnlyFans? Absolutely.
Yeah. Didn't you? Was it you that posted an Instagram post of how girls make money these days? And they're like, "How do you drive on that good?"
Oh yeah. Chicks in a Tesla. I'm like, "Oh wow, it's a great car." You know, because there's that one guy has this. That's what he does. He goes and like, he's got millions of followers, and that's what he does. He just goes up to somebody in their Ferrari. Oh, it's a great car. What do you do? Oh, I'm an investment banker. You know. Oh. Yeah. So the guy walks up to the chick. Hey, what do you do? He's like, oh, I send pictures of my asshole to old men for money. That's it. It's like, oh, great. Yeah. That's society today. Absolutely.
It's fucking.
I just watched this documentary on OnlyFans. It's on Netflix.
What's it called? Do you know?
Fucking OnlyFans. I don't know. It's something OnlyFans.
Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Okay. And they talked to like 3 or 4 people that do it, but like they were doing it before COVID. You know, they're making $10,000 a month or more. It's like, you know, and they're just like, it was like 2-3 chicks and a dude. And the two chicks were like just normal chicks. They weren't like, you know,
right.
supermodels. They're just normal chicks, which is, you know, cool. And they did their thing, and they were making mad fucking dough. Like, I should have done it a long time ago when they were doing it. But now that COVID, everybody started a fucking OnlyFans. Everybody has an OnlyFans. I mean, they even talked about, what's that Disney chick? She fucking started an OnlyFans, and that was a big deal. And then, like, OnlyFans blew up even more because, like, this ex-Disney chick started one. I mean, she wasn't showing her butthole or anything. She was just posting normal of her life. Because there's a lot of, like, part of it, too, was, like, there's just a lot of normal people on there, like comedians, you know, because then they can just cuss and curse and, you know.
So it's not necessarily, so you can do.
It's not necessarily just, here's my butthole.
Sex. Right.
Yeah. Especially now, it's more of just, like, it's an open market where, you know, you can just be you. Like, you know, we can do this, and then if I want to fuck a chick too as part of our podcast, we can put it on our OnlyFans, which was a great idea. We should do that. Which we can put it on our Riff Killers OnlyFans for exclusive content you can't get on YouTube.
Right.
And then it'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking getting a blowjob while we're doing this, and this is great. You just see this
for
head.
$20. I'll stick this diecast General Lee car up my asshole.
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah, totally. No, go higher than that, dude. Jesus Christ, man. What if you get stuck and you gotta go to the hospital? You gotta think those hospital bills. Because that shit happens. You ever watch that shit? They got a show about that too. Sex sent me to the emergency room. That show's stupid, but you know. Anyway, but yeah, there's tons of that. Where like, especially out here, all these gay guys. I got a friend that works in the hospital. They got so many guys that have like toy cars up their ass, dude, light bulbs, and then the light bulb, like, there's one guy, like, the light bulb broke in his ass.
Wow.
Yeah, man, gnarly shit.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, I mean, even with podcasting and shit, man, like, so many people are doing OnlyFans, podcasting, YouTube channels.
Everybody's got a podcast. Look at us. We got a podcast.
We do, man, but I'm digging what we're doing. I really am. Like the Paris interview was sick, and I've been getting a lot of people hitting me up on text messages.
Dude,
saying,
have you seen Stevo's? I meant to text you this. Have you seen Stevo's podcast?
I actually. So let's talk about this. So I was always a fan of Jackass, right? And Bam Margera, and watching Viva La Bam, and the Wild Boys with Stevo and Chris Pontius. And a Bam Margera for substance abuse got kicked off Jackass 4. So he was all over TMZ.
Yeah, dude, he was crying about fucking being treated like a little bitch. They were so mean to me. Well, if you're an alcoholic, drug addict fuck up, and you're doing your fucking fourth possible #1 movie that makes bazillions of dollars, and there's bazillions of dollars at stake, yeah, like everybody kind of grew up. You know what I mean? They had their heyday. The second one was like I just watched a bunch of shit on that too. Rick Kasich is a good friend of mine. He's one of the Jackass dudes. He's a camera guy, the glasses anyway. Rick's an amazing guy. Yeah. He did our House of Broken Promises videos.
Yep.
Anyway, he's gonna come on to the show. Hello. But you know, Bam, it's like, dude, like, get your shit together, man. Like, Stevo was the biggest dude. He was gonna die for sure. But he turned his shit around. His brain finally switched and said, "Oh shit!" And dude, his podcast is rad. How he's doing it is fucking rad. I'm like, I need to like take some notes.
I need to. I saw.
He's got more money to do it production wise, but like, dude, it's very well done.
Right.
Cameras and stuff like that. I mean, he comes from that because that's what they did forever. So it's really cool. And he's got great guests, and he's sober now. He looks healthy. He looks good. He talks coherently. But now, now he's a comedian, which he pretty much just tells the old stories of like those situations, which are funny. So you don't really need to, have too many punchlines. But it's cool, man. And dude, good for him. Absolutely. So
I saw him and
Bam is crying about whatever. Dude, shut the fuck up. Get sober. Get clean. And fucking turn your shit around, man.
Well, it's crazy because he's now posting all over Instagram, like saying, fuck Knoxville, fuck Jeff Tremaine, and he's getting like Danny Way, the skater, to like do some, Ryan Dunn died, so he's doing the We Ain't Done Yet. He's trying to get people to give him money to film another Jackass style movie.
Who? But Bam?
Bam is.
Oh,
yes.
God. He's so fucked up. How's he going to get that done, dude? Nobody's going to fucking...
It's really a sad train wreck to see. Because a lot of those guys, man, got, like you said, Stevo and people really fucked up, but a lot of them are getting clean. And I don't think Bam got over Dunn's... Ryan Dunn was his best friend. I don't think he ever got over his death.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Absolutely. But you know what? You can't fucking dwell on it forever, man. I lost my best friend. It's like, it's fucked. But yeah, what would he want? For you to be continually getting fucked up? And, like, dude, get it together. You're not fucking 20. You're not in your 20s anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
they've been doing that shit's like 20 years old now. Like,
I know, dude.
Yeah, man. It was a huge thing, but because I just watched a bunch of that. Like, I've been watching Stevo's show, just like taking notes. The better our fucking craft.
Right?
He does it. I give him props. He does it really well. And then I looked into that. And then I looked at a bunch of Knoxville stuff. Him talking now. They were going through like, dude, they're all lucky to be alive. In all reality, they are all absolutely lucky to be alive. Like that rocket ship thing they did. Like, dude, that thing blew up and. Just by pure miracle that inside it was like 6 or 8 tubes. And anyway, they all just and like flew out the side of the thing. That could have went through him and instantly killed him. And one went right past Rick and the other guy. And that could have instantly killed them. Like, he could have killed 3 people right there. They're all lucky to be alive.
So we're going to have Rick, is it Kasich, filmer?
Rick Kasich, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing him like behind the scenes, like puking over some of the disgusting shit. Film.
They always fucked with, he's one of the main camera guys, but they always fucked with
so how did you meet Rick?
Dude, we played House of Broken Promises. We played the Key Club when it was the Key Club still. Mm-hmm. We were opening up for Steel Panther. We used to play with Steel Panther a lot. I mean, they've been Metal School, Metal Shop, Steel Panther. Anyway, we opened for Steel Panther, and Rick was there, and we played, and he dug us, and he came up, hey man, guys, dude, that was rad, that was a good show. Like, we started bullshitting, talking. I didn't even really know. I kind of knew, but I didn't know. And my friend's like, oh, you know what that is? I'm like, ooh. He's like, that's Rick Kasich. I'm like, yeah. Jack. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I watched that stuff, but I wasn't like totally into it. Like, oh my god, that's great. I'm like, okay, it's funny. But and we just kept in touch. Super cool dude. He'd come to all our shows. We always hung out, became good friends. And then like when we were doing, that record, I'm like, dude, I want to do a video. And like hit him, hey man, do a video. He's like, yeah, let's do a video, man. Fuck, do a video. So we did 2 videos, and they worked out great. They're fucking awesome. Rick's a great guy. He's a good friend, man. I love that dude. Super cool dude.
Does he live like in like LA? He lives in
LA. Okay. Yeah. He lives in LA.
I wonder if he is a part of the Jackass 4 stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, that'll be pretty
He's
cool.
one of the dudes, man. Absolutely. Yeah. He's one of the dudes. Yeah, they had to shut down because
of COVID, right?
No, well, they were filming again. Like recently, I'm talking like recently.
Yeah.
I think somebody was exposed or something, so they had to stop everything. And I guess I just saw that thing where they got hurt too. Of course they get hurt,
Well, that's right. When Bam was like, they're using my ideas and, I'm kicked out of the movies. It's actually pretty sad.
Don't be a fuck up.
I really hope that dude
figures
help.
It out. Hey, Bam, figure it the fuck out, dude.
Because he's got a kid, and I've been watching his Instagram stories, dude, of him.
Is he just out of his mind?
Yeah, and he just got he's like diagnosed with like bipolar stuff, and
oh Jesus,
he's just
Christ.
posting everything on Instagram, dude, and it's just like I don't know, I just don't know how he's like
what kind of bipolar.
I don't.
There's like a couple of levels. There's like the worst one, like what is it? 1A1, A1, 1A. I don't fuck. I forget. I was looking into that shit.
I think he's pretty fucked up. But I'm just like I'm watching it, and like there's so many people commenting, dude. Like, someone please get this guy help because it's like he's
he's gonna die.
Yeah, it's almost like
It's not hard. It's not hard to tell and see. You know what I mean? I look at him for 2 seconds, like, dude, that guy looks like shit. He's rambling about bullshit. You're not fucking 20 anymore, bro. Grow the fuck up. Go to fucking rehab. Get your shit together. Start jogging. Start smoothing juices, whatever the fuck it takes. Get back. Like, dude, I'll say, look at Stevo. Dude, he looks great.
He does. And there's another
fucking
dude.
Killing it. His show, like, when he first started, it was like, and now he figured it out. Now it just, dude, I'm like, fucking props to this guy, man.
Yeah.
It inspired me, where I'm like, dude, as I started watching his shit, dude, he's really, I'm taking notes. Like, oh, okay, I see how they did that. They'll edit there. That's cool. We can do that. Live and learn. Like, he hasn't been doing podcasts forever, but apparently in his fucking messed upness, he paid attention to some of the production aspect of it, or he knows people that do it well. His shit looks good. You know what I mean? His podcast looks good.
And Stevo's just entertaining, sober or drunk, sticking a toy car up his ass or not. Stevo is a polarizing dude that is just funny as shit. And
hearing the stories, like he's telling a lot of like part of the stories. It's like story generation now, or time of, I don't know. But he's telling like a lot of stories you didn't know about, like say this part or that part. I just watched a thing where he's like, dude, he rented 4 apartments in this building in LA. Like,
he did.
He made money apparently if he's renting 4 apartments in this building. One was his apartment he lived in. One was for his assistant. One they built just the whole apartment into a skate park. Like, in the whole apartment was a skate park. Look it up. It's fucking retarded. And then the 4th one was like the office kind of thing. And then like he destroyed them all.
Right.
And then they kicked him out. And he's like, you gotta be a real fuck up if you're renting 4 apartments in LA. How much is that? You know what I mean? What's that? 25 grand a month? Like, what's that apartment going for? Thousands. A shitty studio is like 1,800 or something. So he's renting like 2 bedrooms, 4 of them. He's probably paying, what? Fucking, $3,000 a month or something times 4. It's like, fuck, dude.
Right. So it's Wild Ride with Stevo. Is that
Yes.
that what it's called?
Yeah.
So so he goes around. Stevo is happier than ever.
So after you're watching our
van.
podcast, you can go watch Stevo.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Stevo.
Maybe we'll get Stevo on our podcast.
That would rule. But talking to Rick, man, that's really cool that he did your music videos, and we got that kind
Rick's
of Jackass connection, because it's been pretty wild. But man, it's been crazy. I mean, we're in 2021, but you got your solo shit coming out, and we got all kinds of interviews coming up, and we're gonna start doing podcasts like we did right now, where we're just shooting the shit, talking about,
and I can rant.
Yeah, rant. What's going on?
I like to rant. Tell us what you want us to rant about. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
Yep.
I am definitely an opinionated motherfucker. And leave some comments like, hey, talk about, whatever. Talk about cancel culture. Talk about gun laws. Talk about religion. Sure. Talk about, health, diet, what you eat, politics, whatever it may be, music, sure, gear. Oh fuck, you want to talk pedals? I got 800,000 pedals right here. We can talk about guitar pedals for an hour. I got it. We got all kinds of topics, man. Drums, I got enough drums too. You want to talk Ludwig? You want to talk Gretsch? Whatever. Nerd stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. No, I love it, man. We got all kinds of shit to talk about, but man, I'm so stoked, Artie. Just kind of, I don't know, just it's nice to be able to, especially in this time, to talk to you and all these interviews we've done with a lot of fucking awesome people, and we have a lot of awesome stuff that we've talked to on the horizon.
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely let us know what you guys want to see, and we got a lot of cool shit.
You know what we should do? We should do that and see what people post. I mean, we don't have like millions of people fucking up on our ass yet, but and then we can bring in, like, say that random person that wants to talk about said topic. That would be cool. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
But totally. People, you need to have an open mind. It's okay that people have different opinions, and we're not going to scream and yell and be children. We're going to discuss like adults topics of today's culture and what the fuck's going on in this world. But only if you can discuss it like a fucking adult and not be lame and shit, dude. I've gotten in a few like Facebook. I'm always cool and just, hit them with facts and, reality. But people don't like facts and reality. They think they got the blinders on and they think what they think because they're told what to think, and they think that and they're fucking right on. And it's crazy. It
is crazy. We're living in a crazy world, but man, I'm stoked.
Let's talk aliens next time. Who wants to talk aliens? People, come up and talk about aliens.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Was it an ark with 2 of all the animals and Noah and shit, or was it an alien spacecraft that came and dropped all the DNA off and said, "Let's see what happens"?
Well, dude, I'm gonna leave it with that. Noah's Ark was probably a spaceship from Uranus.
Come on now.
It's been awesome, and we will see you guys next time on
Riff Killers Podcast.